Supreme Admiral Cortex, the Magnificent, stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Endless Domination, as it dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. Behind him stretched the most impressive armada in galactic history, 10,000 vessels arranged in perfect geometric formations, their hulls gleaming with ceremonial chrome plating and pulsing with ominous red lighting. "Begin the sequence of ultimate intimidation," he commanded, his voice amplified through the ship's dramatic echo chambers for maximum effect. Across the fleet, massive holographic displays activated, projecting images of conquered worlds, kneeling alien populations, and the Supreme Admiral himself in various poses of cosmic authority. Thousands of speakers broadcast the Galactic Empire's theme music, a haunting orchestral piece that had struck fear into the hearts of civilizations across the galaxy. "Sir," reported Communications Officer Zelth, "we're detecting 3 small human vessels approaching our formation. They appear to be civilian ships?" Cortex frowned. The humans should be sending their mightiest warships to face the Empire's arrival, not what looked like modified cargo vessels. "Open communications," he ordered. "Let them witness the full majesty of Imperial power." The main screen filled with Cortex's imposing figure, 12 feet tall, draped in ceremonial robes, embedded with the crushed gems of 100 conquered worlds, his crown forged from the metal of defeated flagships. "Tremble before the might of the Galactic Empire," he declared, using the traditional opening that had preceded the surrender of countless species. "I am Supreme Admiral Cortex, the Magnificent, Conqueror of Worlds, Subjugator of Species, Master of—" A sound from the human ships made him pause. It was giggling. "Sorry, sorry," came a voice from the lead human vessel. "Please continue." "Master of what now?" Cortex straightened, his ceremonial spikes extending for additional intimidation. "Master of the Void, Bringer of Darkness, he whose name shakes the stars." The giggling got worse. Now it seemed to be coming from all 3 human ships. "Oh my God," one human voice said, clearly trying to control their laughter. "Are you serious right now? Is this actually how you introduce yourself?" Cortex second in command, Admiral Vorthak, leaned closer. "Sir, perhaps the humans don't understand our language." No, we understand perfectly," another human voice chimed in. "It's just, wow. Okay. I'm Captain Mike Rodriguez of the cargo ship Betty's Revenge. This is Captain Sarah Kim on the Definitely Not Smuggling. And that's Captain Jim Butler on the My Other Ship is also a piece of junk." Cortex blinked. "Those are your ship names." "Well, Jim's ship is actually named Serenity, but we call it the junk thing because it breaks down constantly," Captain Rodriguez explained cheerfully. "Anyway, what can we do for you, your magnificence? You will surrender immediately to the overwhelming might of the Galactic Empire." Cortex bellowed, gesturing toward his massive fleet. "Gaze upon our 10,000 vessels and despair." There was a pause, then Captain Kim's voice. 10,000? Really? For one solar system? Our power is absolute." Cortex continued, building to the crescendo that always preceded enemy capitulation. "Our weapons can shatter planets. Our shields can deflect the fury of dying stars. Our—" "Dude," Captain Butler interrupted, "are you okay? You sound really stressed. Do you want to talk about it?" Admiral Vorthak whispered urgently to Cortex. "Sir, perhaps they're in shock. Fear can manifest as inappropriate laughter in some species." Cortex nodded and tried again. "Your resistance is futile. Join the Empire willingly and be spared or face obliteration." Okay, Captain Rodriguez said, his voice still bubbling with barely contained amusement. "Look, we appreciate the whole theatrical thing you've got going on. Very dramatic. The red lighting is a nice touch, really sets the mood. But here's the thing, Captain Kim added. We're kind of busy right now. Earth's got this whole democracy thing happening. And honestly, the bureaucracy involved in surrendering to a galactic empire would be a nightmare. Do you have any idea how many committees would have to approve that? Committees? Cortex repeated, confused. Oh yeah, Captain Butler chimed in. First, you'd have to file with the UN, but then there'd be environmental impact studies, cultural preservation protocols, economic transition planning. It would take years just to get the paperwork sorted. Cortex looked around his bridge in bewilderment. His officers seemed equally lost. This wasn't how conquests were supposed to proceed. Plus, Captain Rodriguez continued, we'd have to check with our unions. The intergalactic longshoremen aren't going to be happy about new management, and the Space Truckers Guild has very specific rules about who they'll take orders from. You guys don't happen to be union, do you? We are the Galactic Empire. Cortex roared. We don't negotiate with unions. All three human ships erupted in laughter. Oh, honey, Captain Kim said sympathetically. You're going to have a really hard time on Earth then. Wait until you meet the DMV. The what? Department of Motor Vehicles, Captain Butler explained. If you think conquering planets is hard, try renewing your driver's license on a Tuesday afternoon. Communications Officer Zelth looked up from his console, more confused than ever. Sir, they're inviting us to a barbecue. A what? Captain Rodriguez's voice came through clearly. Look, you guys seem like you've been traveling for a while. Why don't you come down to Earth for a few days? We'll throw some burgers on the grill. Maybe watch a few movies. You can tell us about this whole Galactic Empire thing over some beers. But Cortex struggled to find words. But we're here to conquer you. Yeah, we got that, Captain Kim replied. But it's Friday afternoon, and honestly, nobody's really in the mood for being conquered right now. How about you park those ships somewhere safe, and we'll deal with the whole surrender thing on Monday. You cannot simply postpone a galactic conquest. Cortex sputtered. Watch us, all three captains said in unison, and then dissolved into laughter again. As the human ships puttered away toward Earth, Admiral Vorthok turned to his commander. Sir, what are your orders? Cortex stared at the retreating vessels, then at his massive fleet of intimidating warships, then back at the small blue planet that had just invited him to a barbecue instead of surrendering to his cosmic authority. For the first time in his military career, the Supreme Admiral of the Galactic Empire had absolutely no idea what to do next. Signal the fleet, he said finally. Standard parking orbit. And find out what a barbecue is.